Deputy Prime Minister Winston Peters says a proposal to legalise drug checks at music festivals would send the wrong message to would-be users. New Zealand First has put the brakes on Labour and the Greens' supported plan, which would have allowed pill testing services at events this summer. The party says the policy condones illegal drug taking, while advocates say it will save lives. Jordan Bond reports.
The Police Minister, Stuart Nash, started pushing for pill testing after recreational drugs laced with pesticides were found at a festival last summer. He says the testing would prevent people from unknowingly ingesting bad batches of recreational drugs, which will in turn save lives. He has the support of Labour and the Greens, but New Zealand First leader Winston Peters isn't so convinced.
Taking pills at festivals is a thoroughly bad idea. Now it's been suggested that we should provide all the mechanisms for people to take a whole lot of pills down there to find whether pill taking is safe or not. And we in New Zealand First say it's not safe. Don't do it. If you want to live, then stick to things that are safe.
Pill testing already happens at some festivals in New Zealand, but operates in a legal grey area, which scares some festivals off. It's illegal for people to allow their property to be used for drug use. So if festival organisers invite a drug checking service, they could be seen to be acknowledging that use is happening. Mr Nash's proposal was meant to clear up the grey area and make it legal, because he's convinced drug testing would save lives. That's not enough for Mr Peters.
I think it's better to tell people that drugs and drug experimentation is an awfully risky, dangerous thing to do.
The volunteer organisation that runs these testing services, Know Your Stuff, says taking drugs is a risk, but people still do it, so why not make that risk clear and tell people what's in the drugs they were already planning to take? They went to 13 events last summer but can't say which ones or advertise their services. Director Wendy Allison says when people find out their drug isn't what they think, more than half of them don't take it. She's critical of the New Zealand First MP Derek Ball, who says testing absolves young people from taking personal responsibility for their decisions.
What we do is we give people an opportunity to make better choices and change their behaviour around drugs. And basically saying that we shouldn't be doing that is saying we shouldn't be trying to save lives. And that is exactly what Derek Ball has been saying. He seems to think it would be better if these people just died. And that is reprehensible in my view.
She says drug checking has been happening in the US and Europe for 20 years, and there's no evidence that the presence of testing increases usage. The Drug Foundation's Ross Bell says the decades-long approach of telling people not to take drugs clearly hasn't worked, and anything else is head-in-the-sand stuff. They partner with Know Your Stuff at festivals and say since they haven't been arrested and festivals haven't been shut down, it's business as usual this summer.
New Zealand has some of the highest drug use in the world, despite attempts to just say no. We know that the black market at the moment is really complicated with new and very dangerous substances being cooked up all the time. We live in the real world. Bottom line for us, can we keep people safe? Yes, these services do that, so we'll continue to run them.
The National Party don't support the proposal either, and Derek Ball didn't respond to a request for comment. The Police Minister, Stuart Nash, says despite the roadblock, he'll put his efforts elsewhere to see if he can make any other changes. His first piece of advice is don't take drugs, and his second piece, be safe. Mo te hōtaka o te ahi nei ko Jordan Bond, tēnei.
And the police have released a statement on drug testing services. They say the police are aware of these services, but even when the drug is what it seems, the user can come to considerable harm. They say it's important to remember that illicit drugs are generally manufactured or imported by people who put profit above all else and do not consider the health and well-being of users. And the police say the possession and use of illicit drugs is illegal, and prosecution remains an option in order to prevent harm and keep people safe.